Well, it would seem G2 have fucked it up again. Most of us this week expected to see a couple of things from G2. When MalbsMD was announced, the general consensus was this should either be a really awkward signing to make or the first of two. And when that second move finally started happening, when we see HooXi get cut and we're expecting that final edition, it seemed there was really only two ways this could go. It was either going to be an anchor coming in with Nico moving over to the IGL role, or it would be an upgrade at the IGL position, just straight upgrade, maybe one we hadn't really expected or seen rumoured. Something like a Glaive signing, perhaps. Taking a bit of a shot on a guy who definitely is proven to be a good leader. The Snax edition was none of the above. Now, as a tier 1 side, there have been worse times to sign Snax to be your IGL. I mean, he has now been doing it for, I think, going on about 2 years for a couple of low-level teams. And so he's gotten his reps in. He's not a complete novice when it comes to leadership. Add to this also some brief stints in Virtus Pro as the caller, because they love to rotate that between Neo, Snax, and Taz. Snax may be the shortest of those three, but there were definitely brief periods where he was calling. And you can see that he has a little bit of experience. This isn't a completely random signing. But what merits does he actually have as an IGL? His most recent stint with GamerLegion does have a couple highs. I think early on when you saw them make it through the IM Academy to play in and potentially make a few like top 6 sort of finishes at events, you thought there was some potential here. Now to the observer, it did seem a lot like Snax was taking up star positions, star roles, star responsibilities, and early on at least, delivered. He had decent ratings in big games and it contributed strongly to their success, but towards the end, that's no longer really the case. I mean, the results have sort of faded off. You see they making top 4 in online events. Not even that for the most part, though. And you think, on what basis have they signed him? Since this has been announced, I have taken a look at some demos just to try and figure out, am I missing something? Is it me? I've watched these demos from Snax's perspective to figure out, is he a better player than HooXi? And is he calling a unique style or something special that I've not picked up on? I'd hate to say it, but no, he really isn't. He's not better than HooXi, and he's not calling a particularly special game. There are certain things which you can see he is still better at than HooXi. He's still Snax. You've seen a lot of maps, he is playing like important rotator spots, or he's taking a lot of responsibility, and he's making little plays left and right, and some of them come off. They don't come off quite the same rate they used to, but he still is able to find little gaps, little openings, so he's still got some of that Snax flair. But all in all, mechanically, he is so weak. I've seen a lot of people try to defend this move as a pure firepower upgrade. It's fucking not. It's crazy to say, but it's really not a big firepower upgrade. Whilst playing in almost exclusively tier 2 level competition, Snax has not, in any significant margin, outperformed HooXi. Now sure, the immediate retort is to just point at the raw numbers, but when you consider the difference between the roles these two guys play, and also what you see on the screen when you're watching Snax in a demo, it's not that clear. It's really not as clear as the numbers might suggest it should be, which is a problem in and of itself. This then brings me to the calling. There's a slight problem when you're watching GamerLegion run like these really sick XX, cool plays here and there. You can't really give an IGL too much credit because they did it no matter the IGL, because they just have a coach who's like that. He's kind of that guy. He comes up with great prep, great anti-strats, but also great execs. So it's hard to give any credit to Snax, considering I saw GamerLegion run this level of play under Shuhei, and I've also seen them, honestly, mid-round and react to the map better whilst under Shuhei. Something you'll see in like games they win. They'll run into a stacked bomb site. They'll fuck things up. It'll just be the wrong play. But they'll get bailed out because currently this roster is stacked with some of the most exciting players that you've never heard of. If you're only a G2 fan and not a fan of low-level CS, guys like Andu, Slend, and now the latest edition of Flamus. These guys are really mechanically monstrous. And you'll see them win big clutches, find ridiculous openings, like triple entries is one of Andu's favorites, it seems, that really make you question how much of this comes down to the strat. And it really doesn't feel like a lot from my perspective. So that begs the question, why have they done this? Why have they made this move? Friends look out for each other, I guess. That's the only thing we can say. If the calling is not clearly better, the fragging's not even that significantly changed, and the roles aren't even that pretty. I mean, Snax on a number of maps is playing rotator positions. He's not an anchor. And he's not even a good anchor when he does anchor on the few maps he does. This has purely happened because Taz has called up his friend and given him a job. And there's already enough people, I think, questioning what Taz is doing on this team. And it turns we have the answer now. He's just a GM. He's there to get paid, get his friends paid. Get fucked anything else. The most frustrating part of this is that it's quite likely, and this roster can still win events. I mean, they could do it with HooXi coaching and Stewie2K playing. They could do it with HooXi as the player and the IGL without superstar performances at some of these events, even from like guys like m0NESY. But now currently they have m0NESY on track to be the best player in the world. Like, he should be in a battle with Donk the rest of the year to try and get that #1 spot. Nico's still an elite rifler. They've just signed Malbs. They have the talent to continue to probably go and upset win events, like get these deep runs off the back of these individuals. But we're going to have to deal with... It's going to be another cycle of the analysts, the personalities, the talking heads, pointing out what is clear as day and obvious, that this just isn't good enough. And the simple retort being, well, if that's true, how are they still top 6, top 4, top whatever it is they end up being in terms of their position in the charts and their placings at events? Talent can get you past a lot of these problems. It helps that Snax isn't a total 0 as a caller, but to say he's better than HooXi would be a lie. Hell, you don't even have to compare the games that he's going to play. You just have to watch HooXi calling for Copenhagen Flames to realize, yeah, he is the better of the two IGLs. When given pretty significantly like similar pieces, HooXi created a system that got the best out of all of them. Snax got lucky that they won him some rounds. That was the difference. I have very little faith in this move, and G2 got it wrong again.